What's going on, everyone? ActivesiN here, and we got some interesting things to talk about in regards to the Nintendo Switch. So let's get right into it. The first one comes from Michael Pachter, everybody's favorite analyst. This comes from his latest show, the Pachter Factor, where he had some very exciting things to talk about with the Nintendo Switch. He said he has heard from developers that the Nintendo is the easiest of the big three to develop for. Of course, he's referring to the Switch in comparison to the PS4 and the Xbox One. According to Michael Pachter, a developer has told him that the Switch is the easiest to develop games for. This is exciting news. Why is this exciting? Because this is a complete contrast to the Wii U. The Wii U was notoriously difficult to port games to since it was using PowerPC, which does not play well with x86. And on top of that, the low install base, they had to essentially recreate the game from the ground up for the Wii U, and it just wasn't worth it. But it seems like with the Switch, porting games is easy. That is something that the NVIDIA CEO has said himself. Porting games to the Switch from PC, Xbox, or PlayStation will be very easy. And Michael Pachter has, in fact, backed this up with what he's saying here. And that's fantastic news, which leads us into the next article from Nintendo World Report, and it's saying that the Nintendo Switch is hardware compliant with the new Vulkan API, OpenGL 4.5, and OpenGL ES. They are also compliant with Unreal Engine 4 and the newest version of Unity. So the Nintendo Switch is going to be able to use the newest APIs. Vulkan is fantastic, by the way. It is something I've tested with Doom. Doom, I believe, is the first AAA game to use Vulkan, and it made a massive difference as far as performance goes. You can see a little chart here between Vulkan and OpenGL on Doom on PC. So there's different cards here with the this is the most similar one to my card, RX 480. I have RX 470, but I had similar results here. So with OpenGL playing the game, you got about 69.7 frames per second. But then when you put it onto the Vulkan mode, it jumps up to 89.7. That's a 28% performance boost. Not all the boosts are that big. Like if you go to an older card like the 970, the boost is 3%, or 980 Ti, it's 5%. It seems like AMD cards get a larger boost, like this Fury X got 39.5%. That is quite a big jump. Even something like the 1080, which is already a super powerful card, you get an 11% boost just from using Vulkan API. Supposedly Vulkan is going to end up replacing OpenGL as it gets more popular, and it's clear to see why. You can get more performance out of the same hardware. And Nintendo Switch is going to be able to use this API, so that's fantastic. And again, Unreal Engine, the newest one, Unreal Engine 4, Unity Engine, and then the OpenGLs as well. So it's good to see Nintendo and NVIDIA, I assume mostly NVIDIA, is making sure this hardware is compliant with all the newest APIs and engines. Again, going to lead to more games being able to come over to the system. Because more than power, what matters is having compliance with these engines and APIs. Because if you have compliance with these, even if your power isn't as powerful as the PS4, for example, you can still get the games ported over. Perfect example is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Game came out last year on the Xbox One, but it also came out on the Xbox 360, which is considerably weaker than what the Switch is going to be. It was weaker than even the Wii U, and it still managed to play Rise of the Tomb Raider. So as long as your hardware can support the kind of engines and APIs, it makes for less of an issue for the hardware itself. So that's kind of it. Exciting news. I know everyone's a little down because of the hardware stuff, about the clock speeds and whatever, but like, to be honest, guys, this kind of stuff is more important. Seeing that Nintendo and the Switch are going to be compliant with these newer engines and APIs, this is good. This is going to help them get games, help things getting ported over, and they're kind of future-proofing themselves. That was a huge issue with the Wii U. It couldn't run next generation engines. and that really hindered the performance of the console. If it was able to use stuff like it even struggled with Unreal Engine 4, and that can run on some cell phones. Like, so this is good news. So I hope you guys are getting excited about the Switch. We're under a month away. We're like 3 weeks away from the official reveal. So I'm pretty excited. And yeah, let me know what you think about this. Nintendo getting the new APIs, the new engines ready to go on the Switch. And again, with the Switch, we know it's using some form of X1 processor, highly customized, of course, by NVIDIA. So it's gonna be interesting once we actually see what it is, when somebody opens it and like actually tears it apart and finds out exactly what it is, because you know Nintendo's never gonna say. But yeah, I guess that's it. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and yeah, I will talk to you next time. Bye.